Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Two programming notes for tonight's Sports Nightly. First, in just a few minutes, Huskers DB's coach Travis Fisher will join us for the weekly football show with Greg Sharpe to discuss his secondary heading into Nebraska's matchup against 5th-ranked Ohio State. Kickoff will be 11 a.m. Saturday. Second, hour two of our Sports Nightly will conclude shortly before 7:30 to make way for the pregame show as Nebraska Volleyball is on the road tonight in Illinois. Huskers look to bounce back after back-to-back losses against ranked opponents last week. They'll face a newly ranked Fighting Illini team that earned their first ranking of the season, coming in at 25. Over to pro sports, where there's been no shortage of headlines today. A blockbuster trade was completed this morning in the NHL. The Buffalo Sabres sent embattled and injured star center Jack Eichel to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for forwards Peyton Krebs, Alex Tuchs, and 2 future draft picks. Eichel hopes to have neck surgery in the coming days to be healthy in time to play for Team USA in the Winter Olympics this February. Over to basketball, where the NBA has announced it will launch an investigation into the Phoenix Sun and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver. ESPN released a report this morning detailing allegations of racist and sexist behavior against Sarver. The NBA called the allegations extremely serious and announced that it will have the Watchell Lipton law firm carry out an investigation, and they will base any action off the findings from that investigation. In the NFL, Odell Beckham Jr. was excused from another Browns practice today, with ESPN's Jake Trotter reporting that Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski told his team Beckham would no longer be a Brown following yesterday's practice. Lastly, Thursday Night Football kicks off at Week 9 in the NFL tonight. Two teams are looking to get their seasons back on track when they square off in Indianapolis at 7:20 p.m. The Jets hope to rally around backup quarterback Mike White, who's had a Cinderella story in the last couple of weeks, while Carson Wentz and the Colts hope to defend home turf to keep up in the race for the AFC South. That's the Ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
This is the Nebraska Radio Football Show, proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsmen place products to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com.
They turn, and it's reverse. It's a flea flicker back in the Huskers sacking. Cam Taylor, Britt sniffed that out and sacks Morgan all the way back at the 47-yard line. Rolling to the right side as DeMorat being pressured, throws downfield. Pass is intercepted. Picked off by the Cornhuskers. It's Deontay Williams, second pick of the day. Here's the snap down. Lynon Weber space blocked. The ball's blocked. It's picked up. Nebraska will take over after blocking a field goal try. Mark Heldesmuke was the man who fired through.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down. Also presented by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com. Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our football show for the week. An hour earlier, we do have volleyball later tonight here on the network, but we're able to get Coach Fisher into the studio here at the 6 o'clock hour, so our phone lines are open and available for you if you have some comments or questions for the coach. 402-413-2400. You can call, you can text. We're also up on our YouTube stream, and you can offer up some comments there that we can pass along to the coach. Welcome in here. If I bring dinner in here, what was on the menu upstairs tonight?
Nice dinner. Nice steak. Nice steak for me and the family. And, some veggies. The usual.
Good.
Good food. Good food.
They do feed the coaches and players pretty well around here, don't they?
Well, they feed it's phenomenal the way they feed the players here, and lucky enough, grateful enough that they feed the coaches along with the players. So it's awesome.
How's the week been? What's practices been like?
It's been great. It's been a great week of practice, and the guys are getting ready, winding down to the end, getting ready for the a great game with Ohio State coming in. The guys have energy, they got juice, and they're ready to go out and compete.
Let's go back to last Saturday when you went back and broke that tape down. What stood out to you particularly from your room against the Boilermakers?
Well, obviously, I have some younger guys that have to become starters right away, which is not a problem because, the way I use those guys in that room, they're ready. So Miles Farmer with Deontay Williams getting hurt and out. Miles Farmer had to come up and step in right away and got Noah Polar Gates in as well. So I think Miles did a great job in the game. You know, obviously we have a young Quentin Newsome out there, but he's an old Quentin Newsome now because he has a lot of, experience up under his belt now, and Cam Taylor-Britt and Markel Dismute as well. So, those guys have been working extremely hard, and they know they have a big task this week.
Miles, the news of the day is Miles got a black shirt this week, right?
Miles did get a black shirt this week. Extremely happy. He deserved it. All right, he deserved it. He's working his tail off week in and week out, and he got his black shirt.
He had that nasty injury last year against Purdue. When did you feel like he kind of got it back to full strength? Was it mid-August? Was it end of the season? When did you kind of go, all right, he's back at full strength?
Yeah, it was sometime during camp. Sometime during camp when, the first beginning of camp, he was doing a lot of limping, and then it just went away. So he's been pretty healthy throughout the year. And you can't tell he even had an injury right now. So Miles Farmer, he's running around and having fun, and looking forward to him stepping in this week and having a great game.
To the naked eye, I thought Cam Taylor-Britt played one of his better games of the season. What did you think when you watched it, and did it change when you went back and looked at the tape? Yeah,
the last 3 or 4 games, he's putting together some nice games. He's playing extremely well on the outside, and limiting those explosive plays on the outside, and those guys doing a great job of that. So yes, he did have a great game. Just looking forward to him being able to use some of those ball skills that he has, elite ball skills that he have to come down with one or two this week. So I'm pretty sure, somewhere in the game he'll have his opportunities, and he's looking forward to it.
Seemed like he was maybe trying too hard early in the season. How would you describe his play in the first couple of weeks?
I think you're pretty accurate if you say he's trying too hard. I think he was just trying to make every play. And, just me having to settle Cam down because he's trying to, on special teams, trying to make every play and, make a mistake on special teams, and then he get the defense. He want to make up for what he did on special teams, and he's trying to make a play. So it's just all about getting him to settle down and getting him to settle down and for him to understand what I need him to do, what this team needs him to do, and stuff like that. So I
was really proud of him after it was a quick change. It was one of the interceptions in the fourth quarter, and you could really see Cam out there trying to fire the defense up. And that drive ended with them missing a field goal. That showed me a lot that he was still hanging in there and trying to fire the guys up and keep fighting, even though the odds were getting long against us on Saturday.
Very resilient group. I mean, you see those guys, at some phases, the last few games on defense, they kind of fade away a little bit, and then you see them come right back. All right, so this year I thought we played some awesome defense, and it's been some times here late in the season where maybe the first half we didn't play as good as we wanted to, or maybe the first series in the game, maybe Purdue, and you just see those guys just fire right back. So very resilient group. Can't say enough good things about those guys, and then looking forward to those guys playing it the same way this week.
Coach, I saw you mix in Braxton Clark in the second half. Talk about his development a little bit, and you love when you get a chance to get somebody else out there.
Yeah, just trying to play as many guys as I can and get them on the field. Those guys have elite ball skills, and just trying to get Braxton to trying to see who can give us a spark on defense and get a turnover. So just putting Braxton in. As much as I can, and then obviously when he's in the game, he's a starter. So it doesn't matter if he start this week or whoever's starting this week. When he's in, he's a starter. So I like Braxton just as much as I like the other two guys that's been starting most of the season. So when he's in the game, he's a starter.
402-413-2400. That's the number to dot us up with a comment, a question, or fire off a text. Let's go to the phones. Set up to Minnesota. Tim, you're up first tonight with Coach Fisher.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking my call. It's been exciting, even just the last several years, to watch how secondary has gotten better and everything. To be honest, I do have some things that really bothered me about the game, especially last Saturday. There were times when we did blow up those plays out in the flat, but boy, they got way too many of those that they converted for first downs. There were some other, some others, maybe, slants or, across the middle that they also would convert, but especially those passes out in the flat. And then obviously all those rushing yards. I know, yours is mainly with the DB, but, sometimes the DB and secondary will be in on those plays to stop the run, not to mention pass rush. So my question is, kind of your assessment of what they need to, maybe the role, the entire defense, but especially your guys need to get better against the run. Then, of course, there are other times when we did do well against the run in that game, but obviously there just weren't enough plays made to stop them. And what's the deal on the on those passes, like out in the flat, those check down passes that Purdue is getting all those yards and all those conversions? Is that what degree of responsibility do your guys have? Is that and maybe as compared to maybe some of the linebackers? And what exactly do we need to? How do they react better against that? Last question is how Noah Paula Gates. I didn't hear his name, either good or bad. How did he do Saturday? And the health and progress of Deontay Williams coming back. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling in. Just to answer your questions, first I'll just start off with the passes out in the flats. For a lot of calls, there's a lot of different calls in the football game. But there are some calls in the football game where we're playing man coverage or some tighter coverage that there were some balls that were caught out in the flats, the 10-yard, 11-yard, 12-yard range that we needed to have some tighter coverage on. It wasn't many times in the game we were caught in those situations, but it was sometimes in the game where I wish we had, if I can get anything back, take anything back. It was a couple passes, especially on third down, that we wanted to. I want to get back. And then just looking at that type of stuff, and just evaluating film after the game, and I just put that on me as a coach and just say, hey, maybe some technical things that they can get better with technique and understanding. Where's the help? Where's your help? And if your help is outside, then you want to make sure you take care of yourself on the inside. And if your help is inside, you want to make sure you take care of yourself on the outside. So just that type of stuff. Just understanding where's my help. Understanding where you want that ball to go. Do you want to use the sideline as an extra defender? Or do you want to take away the shot? Is it do you want to take away the shot, or do you feel like it's a shot down the field deep coming and you want to take away that shot? So you're right. There it is sometimes in the game where I thought we can play some tighter coverage down in the flats, and then there's also sometimes in the game where the secondary is doing some other stuff and the other guys on the defense is taking away the flat route. So it kind of works hand in hand with the defense. I think the most important thing is when those balls do come out in the flats, then you see 11 hats running to the football, and we're gang tackling that ball carrier. So when he do catch that ball in the flats, that you see no extra yardage being gained after that, and that's probably the most important thing, that the yards after the catch. You need to, if a ball do get caught in the flats, we want to get them tackled right away or get them out of bounds right away. So, and then The Noah Polar Gates, just comment on him. We got him in the game, doing a great job. He did a great job in the football game. Look forward to getting him back in the football game this week. He's practicing his behind off all week, and he is in that rotation, so you will see him. Deontay Williams is coming along really quick.
Good.
All right, really quick. So we see him every day, and he's running already. He's running around already, so look forward to hopefully getting him back pretty soon.
He's been probably your best ball hawk back to this year. He's gone and gotten a couple of picks for you during the season.
Yeah, Deontay, you know, and I made that comment a while ago. Deontay is a very good football player. I mean, from tackling to making plays on the football to being able to cover man to man. You don't get that much from a safety, but he gives you all of those things with his game.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Purdue's longest pass play, Coach, 21 yards. Was part of the plan just to kind of keep things in front of you and not let Bell get a big play down the field? Was that part of the game plan?
Well, the kid, good job to him. He's averaging 118 yards, or something like that per game.
You got him to 74.
Yep. So, I mean, the longest pass in the game was 21 yards. You still want to take those 21 away. As a DB coach, I do, and I know the players do as well. But at the end of the day, I do want to pump the guys up and give them guys encouragement for not letting that ball go deep in the football game. Give us a chance.
Their quarterback was really good. Sometimes you tip your cap. He did not make a mistake. He had all of his reads. I kept waiting for him to throw one to us. He didn't. He didn't make a mistake in that game, and that's kudos to that young man who's played a lot of football at the Big Ten level. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Need to slip a break in? The numbers again, 402-413-2400. Call or text. We're back with more with the coach next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Well, it's halftime. How do we kill 15 minutes?
I think I have some really old hard candies in my purse.
Ick.
Well, we could play rock, paper, scissors.
I'd rather eat the hard candy.
Oh, I forgot. I bought a bunch of Nebraska lottery scratch tickets before we came.
Excellent. Hand them down.
What a great selection.
The Nebraska lottery launches new scratch games every month.
Anybody got a quarter to scratch them with? Anybody?
Hey, hand me one of those old hard candies.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeToe Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeToeSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
You need harvest results, not another radio ad. So let's get to the point. Channel Seedsmen place products to perform in your fields, and the results can speak for themselves. Get yield results from your area and less yapping at channel.com/yield. Huh, I guess less talking means more time for music. Classic rock, anyone? That's channel.com/yield for local harvest results. Always read the bottle of green marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Great job, everyone. Printers, great coverage. Phones, quick pickups. Firewall, tough defense. And network, way to carry the whole team. Ever since Marco started calling our technology plays, we work smarter and our whole game is more streamlined. Marco's all-star services and support give us the winning edge. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and a new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Hey Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
We are back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe joined by Travis Fisher tonight. It's our Husker football show for the week an hour earlier because we have volleyball coming up in hour number 2 from Illinois. Plenty of time for you to jump on board and talk to the coach. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Let's go to the phones out to Scotts Bluff. Charlie, good evening. You're up with Coach Fisher.
Coach, thanks for everything you do. Greg, thanks for having me on. My question is regarding practice. And, we've got the roster numbers up, and I'm wondering if that's translating to more repetitions I'm wondering if Coach Frost is running practice with multiple stations. You know, and I'm curious if the fourth stringers are getting the same amount of reps as the first stringers, as supposedly was supposed to be the case when we increased the roster size.
Yeah, that's the formula here. We have more than one station going on at a time. So, you know, we are running practice, and everybody has the same script, and we go down the script. So you might have, you know, 4 fields going on at a time, and we all are getting the same amount of reps. So the kids are getting a ton of reps from whatever string, whether it's 1 through 4. However, during the season, you know, a lot of things have, you know, you're getting a lot of reps, but you also have to have your scout team, you know, going against your whatever, and then just to get ready for a football game. So there's a big difference between there's a tiny difference between, you know, spring ball when you're getting a ton of reps and you're getting better and you're working on your bait stuff and then you're working on your nickel stuff, and then, you know, but then getting ready for a game where you have Monday's practice, you have Tuesday's practice, Wednesday's practice, you know, to get ready for a football game, then you kind of got to focus on getting ready for that game is more than getting a million reps, you know. So to answer your question, yes, we do have multiple stations going on, and you know, for what I hear, that's what it used to be like, you know, in Nebraska. Just getting multiple stations going on and kids developing players, and they're, you know, you have the fourth string getting just as many reps as the first string. So.
Okay, well, that's encouraging to hear. I'd kind of wondered if that was happening or not, so I just appreciate you taking the time to answer my question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Try to appreciate the phone call. Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. We have a text for you. How is Kobe Brett's progressing? Man from Omaha, right?
Yep, Kobe is doing a great job. I mean, Kobe's done a phenomenal job in his freshman year. First of all, he's done a very good job in class. He's out right now, and I'm not going to speak on what's going on with him, but he's out right now, and obviously when he gets back healthy, we'll be able to do more with football. But he's in the film room. He's learning. He's, you know, when he was healthy, he was flying around, doing a great job.
Took 3 freshman corners, or 3 DBs in that class. He was one. Marquise Buford, who we've seen a lot on special teams, and Malik Williams from the Atlanta area. I think you like all 3 of those young guys, don't you?
Yep, love all 3 of them. Great players, great people.
That's
great kids.
Let's head to Omaha. Speaking of Omaha, and Michael, hello, Michael. You're up with Coach Fisher.
Hey guys, thanks so much for taking my call. I'm wondering, over the course of the season so far, when we've had breakdowns in the secondary, Coach, what percentage of the time are the guys in the right coverage, they just haven't executed, versus the percentage of the time where the guys just weren't in the right coverage for the play call that they were facing? I'll let you guys answer. Thanks so much.
You got to tell me what game you're talking about with a broken down.
I think he just means for the season.
For the season. I don't remember we have a broken down coverage in the season so far. Maybe someone getting beat, maybe you're talking about, or there's a difference to me. Broken down coverage, that means that you don't know what you're doing, or just maybe someone giving up a pass or something. So I'll just speak on the maybe giving up a pass. You know, we have a lot of guys that are playing right now with a lot of playing experience. The safeties are the quarterback of the defense, so they make all the coverage checks, and those guys are very good at it. Deontay Williams and Markel Dismute from majority of the season was the ones that basically running that defense on the back end as far as coverage concerned. So there has been some times in the game, And I think that might be what you're speaking of. There been some times in the game where we've given up a pass, and it's been probably either 97% of the time that problem has all been just a small mistake. Did I line up 4 yards or did I line up 6 yards? All right, the difference of 2 yards. Did I have my eyes here or did I have my eyes there? And you don't see it much, but when you do see it, you see it. All right, so and that's been, you know, kind of some things that I don't see much from the secondary, but this year when those plays did happen, that's exactly what happened. So you know, it's just all, you know, guys got to be disciplined, very disciplined, and at times in the game where those guys feel like they need to make a play, and maybe just what they have inside of them where they feel like they just need to go make a play. You know, maybe, you know, we're telling the team, hey, let's go get the ball back, and they go out there and then instead of just doing the defense and maybe just focusing in on whatever key, you know, maybe they take that half a second peek at the ball, at the quarterback, and then that calls them a big play. So those are the things I've evaluated that have happened to us this year a few times in the seasons.
Andy, in our chat room, Coach said, I know you recruited Jaquez Yant. How do you think he's done this year, and do you still kind of mentor that young man?
Yeah, you guys have seen Yant. I mean, he's big, he's physical, he's fast, he's learning. Is he ready to be a pro? Absolutely not. But he's growing very fast. The last few weeks, I think he's been maturing very fast and starting to catch on. And, you know, last week you saw him make some great plays. And, you know, so I was very lucky to get Yant, you know, and get him to leave Tallahassee, whereas Florida State is there. And it's very lucky to get him and get him up here to Nebraska, and he loves it here. So he's make this place his home.
He's been a good contributor so far this year. Hey, this season, share Valentino's Tailgater tradition with our Big Red Double Jumbo Deal and get 2 one-topping jumbo pizzas for only $17.79 each. Order yours online at valentinos.com. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red. Need to work a break in. Here are the numbers, 402-413-2400. Phone lines are open. You can text on that same number as well. We're back with more with Coach Fisher next. You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Much like the values of the people of Nebraska, Nebraska Realty was built on the principles of hard work, dedication, and doing things the right way. They believe strongly in the power of creating lasting relationships and the value those relationships hold. Their success is based on trust and the relationships created with the people and communities They serve across the state of Nebraska. There really is no place like Nebraska Realty.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections. When it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/prioritycare.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com. When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from Woodhouse Auto Family this season if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown. Woodhouse will is going to give away an F-150. New contestants are going to be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse. This week's winner, John Nordham from Bellevue. Congratulations, John. Good luck to you. Travis Fisher with us until the top of the hour. Husker football show an hour earlier this week because of Husker volleyball coming up next hour. If you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400, the number to
to fire off a text. A text, Coach, from Red out in Alliance. How many defensive back blitzes have we been calling this year? I know Quentin got one early in the season.
How many hit home?
He got there.
Yeah.
How many do you call normally in a game?
Well, maybe 1 or 2.
That all?
Yep.
Well, your guys have to love it when their number gets called up on that thing, don't they?
Those guys are licking their chops, man. They're trying to get in there. 1 or 2.
How much did you like the blitz when you played?
They kept me in coverage.
They kept you out?
Yep, they kept me in coverage. I think that was probably the best thing to do on the teams I played on, keep me in coverage.
Hawaii Dave on our text line says, Nebraska offensively has either been 3 and out or they score on big plays quickly. How do you maintain the defense and fresh legs with the DBs? How confident are you with the depth that you've built up in your room?
Those guys are always running. Those guys are running from the beginning of the game to the very end. And the thing about it is they don't rotate. So when they get tired, they're still running. So it's not like offense where they run a deep ball and they come off the field and they get a new guy. They come run a deep ball. They stay in and they're always running. So I do have some depth and some guys that can come in and spare some legs and also just run, go out and play hard. So the guys I do got coming in, if they do come in, are not just to spare, they're in to try to help us, get the ball back for our offense. So, I do have a very good room. The culture is great in that room. I love coaching the defensive backs here. It wasn't always like that when we first started, but, very quickly after I got here, the culture changed in that room, and it's phenomenal coaching the guys that I have in the room. So,
I think we're one of the better conditioned teams in the conference. I mean, I go back to those hot days in Illinois, even Norman, Oklahoma, it was really hot. I feel like our guys have held up really well conditioning-wise. That speaks pretty highly of our strength staff, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Duval and the staff does a great job with those guys throughout the week, especially in the summers and the spring, but also during the season. And then give the kids credit. They eat well, so they do a great job. If you just, stick your head into, the calf when they're eating, and they eat very healthy to be young kids. I mean, they're not just throwing, they got veggies on their plate, and so give them credit. Give the kids a lot of credit. They're taking care of their bodies very good. So, the more you stay healthy, the more we can get you out there,
That's all part of it, though, isn't it? Eating well, getting plenty of rest.
Yep.
Sleep's a pretty big deal, too. I think we've kind of learned a lot about that in the last 10 years or so, that sleep is one of the best ways to help recovery and making sure you're ready to play on a Saturday.
And educating them as well, educating them on those things as well. So getting them the proper amount of rest, blue light versus, put those cell phones down, right?
Put it away.
Get some rest, eat well, what time you eat, what time not to eat, stuff like that. So,
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Doug in Norfolk on our text line says, Coach, if you're in your base defense, do your DBs play with inside or outside pressure on receivers?
It depends. It depends on the splits of the receivers. So it's a good question, but to answer the question, it depends on the splits of the receivers. So, if they're too wide, then they'll probably be inside, and if they're not too wide, they'll probably be outside.
Rudy in Florida says, Coach, how is Javen Wright doing?
Doing great. We love Javen.
Good.
Doing great. He was just in my office right before I came down for the show. So he's doing great. Great spirits. We love Javen in the building.
Now, how much are you getting to work with him when he's healthy, or is he kind of slid up to the outside linebackers room, or do you guys hand him off back and forth?
Well,
he's a versatile guy.
He is very versatile. He does go into a different room most of the time, but then, it's kind of unique because during practice, he's with me most of the time. So in Indy, so I get my share of coaching him, and then and then also he's with the outside linebackers as well.
Very good. A little bit like JoJo. I mean, JoJo's
exactly
a guy that's
like JoJo.
Flipped all around.
JoJo is with me every day in Indy. So
how's JoJo been playing in your eyes?
Great. He had a great game last week. I thought JoJo was very physical last week, tackled well, had a great game.
Very good. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Need to work our final break of the night, but still time if you want to be a part of the show. 402-413-2400.
Business in Nebraska. The best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
When you choose Woodman Life, you choose a better life insurance company. Yes, Woodman Life is life insurance, but so much more. Woodman Life is here to protect your family's financial future and offer help when the going gets tough. And Woodman Life is honored to join you in the celebration of family, community, and country. Get to know Woodman Life at woodmanlife.org. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
It's game on at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Welcome back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres solutions for every field. Just a couple minutes left with the coach till the top of the hour. We'll have another about 25 minutes of Sports Nightly before we get you into Husker volleyball with pregame coverage at 7:30 tonight. Big challenge ahead of you this week. This is a really talented Ohio State team. What's your film study shown you about this group?
Very athletic team. Very athletic. They have just talking about the receiver group. First of all, the quarterback. It's a young quarterback, but I think he struggled a little early in the season, but he's picked it up and he's playing lights out. They got running backs by committee. You got 3 running backs that they roll with, and all 3 of them are very good players. Master Teague is one of the older guys that we've played against over the years, but they also have number 32,
Henderson.
Henderson.
He's good.
That's very good and fast and explosive. Then on the outsides, obviously, I think, personally, in my opinion, I think they have 3 of the best receivers in the country. I think with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and number 11, I think those guys are the best receivers in the country. I think if you 1, 2, and 3, so we know what we got ahead of us this week, and we got to play football, and then we're gonna have to compete, and we're looking forward to it.
And you've played some of the best teams in the country this year. That college football poll came out the other day. You've played 3 of the top 10, and Ohio State's in there now to be 4 of the top 10 after Saturday.
One thing about defensive backs is you don't get a day off.
Nope.
You don't get a day off. It's everybody you line up against, whether it's Chris Olave or whether it's Joe Smo from down the street. He's trying to score a touchdown on you. So you treat them all the same, you don't have a problem.
Crypto King in our chat room wants to know what are some of the sideline talks like during the game, particularly when somebody has a bad play and they come over to the sideline. How much emotion's going on down there? How much teaching? Just take us through some of those conversations on a game day.
For me, it's not time when one of my guys give up a play. It's not time to explode on the sideline. I don't want my players to see me in that state where I'm panicking, going crazy. But I also want to address the issue. And so they come over and they sit down and they look me in the eye, and I address it right away. So so it's more fixing problems on the sideline than rah-rah. So it's not a lot of rah-rah. So even when they make plays, by the time they make it over to me, it's time to talk about something that happened, correcting something. All right, so when it's good, it's the same. And when it's not so good, it's the same, except for when it's not so good, it's my job to get them back right. So, and that's what the culture, that's what during the week, and the trust that those guys have, and the love that those guys give me back, so I can coach them the way I need to coach them. So,
who are some of the louder voices in the room? Is Cam one of the guys that talks the most in helping? And he's a captain. I would think he probably would be.
Cam is the loudest voice in the room, but I would say Deontay Williams is the anchor in the room. Cam is probably the loudest voice. Deontay is the anchor. So Deontay is like that. He's like grandpa. He's grandpa in the room. And so Markel is also grandpa in the room. He gets a lot of respect in the room. So those 3 guys are the voices in the room. So they talk, everyone listens.
Very good. Coach, we appreciate it. Hours go fast when we get in here. Thank everybody for sending some text questions into us tonight as well.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Huskers
Big Red.
Huskers Buckeyes 11 o'clock kick here at Memorial Stadium, 7 o'clock for pregame coverage with Husker Game Day. Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 1 hour of Sports Nightly in the books. We have another 30 minutes to go before we hand it off to John Baylor for Husker volleyball coverage. So we're not done yet. Sports Nightly, come on back and have some fun with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL four-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Addie Addie Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov.
Here we go again. The celebrating, the accolades. Ever since we added Marco to our team, our technology can't lose. Day after day, success after success, Marco's made our business IT a force to be reckoned with. The only drawback of being technology all-stars is keeping champagne away from the electronics. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. A programming note for the upcoming hour. Sports Nightly will conclude shortly before 7:30 p.m. to make way for the pregame show as Nebraska Volleyball is on the road in Illinois tonight. The Huskers look to bounce back after back-to-back losses against ranked opponents last week. They'll face a newly ranked Fighting Illini team that earned their first ranking of the season this week in the polls, coming in at 25. Over to pro sports, where there's no shortage of headlines today. A blockbuster trade was completed this morning in the NHL. The Buffalo Sabres sent embattled and injured star center Jack Eichel to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for forwards Peyton Krebs, Alex Tuck, and 2 future draft picks. Eichel hopes to have neck surgery in the coming days to be healthy in time for Team USA's efforts in the Winter Olympics this February. Over to the NBA, where the NBA has announced it will launch an investigation into the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver. ESPN released a report this morning detailing allegations of racist and sexist behavior against Sarver. The NBA called the allegations extremely serious and announced that it will hire the Watchell Lipton firm to carry out a comprehensive investigation, and that any findings will dictate the league's response. In the NFL, Odell Beckham Jr. was excused from another Browns practice today, with ESPN's Jake Trotter reporting that the Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski told his team that Beckham would no longer be a Brown following yesterday's practice. Lastly, Thursday Night Football kicks off in just a few minutes. 2 teams are looking to get their seasons back on track when they square off in Indianapolis at 7:20 p.m. Central. The Jets hope to rally around the Cinderella story that is the backup quarterback Mike White, while Carson Wentz and the Colts hope to defend home turf to keep up in the AFC South. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Vermeer in the backfield on second short. Fake the handoff, rolling the pocket, back to throw. Adrian takes a shot downfield, has a man open. It's Vermeer, makes a catch. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska! Huskers burn that Wolverine defense for a second time in the third quarter.
Now Penn State back right. Johnny Parker stuffed. A huge block. Nebraska, big block. Couldn't have been better timed. Huskers lead. It's 2019, Sep 2.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And good evening. Welcome back. A little short segment here of Sports Night before we hand it off to John Bader and Lauren Cook-West for Husker Volleyball as they are in Champaign, Illinois tonight to take on the 25th-ranked Fighting Illini. Looking forward to that match. I know this team is looking forward to this match, Jessica. I mean, they lost their last 2. They're ready to get back in the win column.
Absolutely. It feels like it's been a while since they've played at, Minnesota,
Yep.
right? It was at Minnesota.
Saturday night.
It seems like it's been a while, and I know that they're chomping at the bit. It's with every team, and that's why sometimes when you come off a loss in a bye week, it takes so long. You just want to get back out there and kind of, right the ship. And so, for this volleyball team to get back out there when they were playing so well and then didn't feel like they brought their best effort against Wisconsin and, had some timely mistakes at Minnesota. And so, again, to get back out there and they feel like they've worked some things out, had a great week of practice. I know I chatted with Nick Lynn-Hames a couple days ago, and they feel like they learned a lot. They got a lot of young freshmen that are in these kind of situations for the first time, some sophomores that are playing in front of crowds for the first time. You got to remember that. So a lot of these kind of hostile environments that they're going to for the first time, a lot of these players hadn't experienced that. So it's, again, figuring out how to kind of settle down and remain poised in those types of situations when a crowd can make a huge difference, as we've seen night in and night out here at Devaney.
No doubt. It was a good atmosphere in Minnesota. It will be tonight in Champaign. They draw really well for the Illini. So that's coming up at the bottom of the hour, first serve at the top of the hour. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Thanks again to Travis Fisher for coming in last hour, talking some Husker football. There was some news that popped out earlier today. Nuri gets put on scholarship. That made me feel so good when I heard that news.
Me too. I mean, we talked about it a lot last week. Just a great human being, got a great heart, and, cares so much about this program and playing for this team, but also just he has such a different kind of appreciation for playing because he came from overseas in Germany where it's not as big of a deal and, not as much funding and resources to play the sport. And so he's just got a lot of appreciation for even being able to run out on a football field. And so good for him. There's nobody more deserving. And it was just his birthday.
Wow.
Halloween was his birthday. So what a week to kind of get a scholarship for Nuri. Happy birthday, Nuri.
Good for him. And he's playing well, too. I mean, this wasn't just charity to give him the scholarship. Once he was given the opportunity to start, this is about a month ago, he's been one of the higher-rated offensive linemen each week.
Absolutely, and I think you've seen an improvement in the overall line play when getting that kind of that side fixed. And Jeremiah has talked a lot about kind of what that's done for the offensive line, getting Nuri inserted in that line. So he's played consistently. He told me after that Northwestern game, when he got that spot, he said, "I'm not giving it up." And he hasn't, and he has no intentions of giving it up again, for his remainder of time being a Husker. So, he fought really hard. He stayed consistent, earned that spot, and he has no intention of letting it go.
The other bit of news, another black shirt handed out. Miles Farmer gets a black shirt. Miles made the start last week for Deontay Williams, who's out for a couple of games. Seemed to do pretty well in the back end of that secondary. He's played an awful lot throughout the year. They've rotated him in that secondary throughout the season. But as everybody tells us, it's a pretty special moment when you get that. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, I got to think that will give him a lot of confidence and motivation moving forward. But that's a guy that I think that people thought would be in a starting spot this year. But then with the COVID year and having, getting some guys back and with some extra eligibility. So, I think he was ready for his time and embracing it. And boy, he's got a big challenge. But I think they're embracing it. As we talked a little bit last night with Cam Taylor-Britt, that defensive backs room is really excited about a massive challenge this Saturday.
Yeah, it's a really good group of wide receivers that the Buckeyes will bring to town for the 11 o'clock game. We're about ready to launch the winter sports with basketball and wrestling. Swimming is a sport that starts kind of mid-fall and goes into mid-winter, and the Huskers have gotten off to a good start. They're 3-1. Pablo Morales, the Husker swim coach in his 21st year, is going to talk with us here in just a second. They have a home duel tomorrow at the auditorium against the Jayhawks at 4 o'clock. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow afternoon or have never been to a collegiate swim meet, they are a blast to attend. So let's check in with the Husker swim coach, Pablo Morales. Delighted to be joined by the 21st-year head coach of the Cornhuskers, Pablo Morales. I don't want to make you feel old.
Wow, 21 years.
You've had a good run here. How are you?
It's been a great run. I'm doing great, Greg. How are you?
Fantastic. Good. The team's off to a nice start, 3-1 in some of your early duels so far. Yeah. A split last weekend. How do you feel like the young ladies are competing for you?
Yeah, competing really well. We had some good challenges this year, and so far we've been performing really well, getting ready for a great season, and we're certainly off to a really good start. Our only faltered against Minnesota, which is at the top of the conference, so it was a good opportunity to measure ourselves against the best in the conference, and we took a bus ride over there and got some good racing, good experience, and then came back the next day against Iowa State and showed up well.
That has to really please you because you did bounce right back and put up some good times against the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's purposeful. We set this up to be an early season challenge where we go on a bus ride same day to Minnesota against great competition, and then we continue our drive to Ames, and we go against a traditional foe in the Big 12, and they're always raring to go when we duel with them. So that was a great back-to-back evening the night before into a morning duel the next day with Iowa State. So our girls handled that beautifully with some great swims and dives the first day, and then coming back strong on the second day.
For some folks may not seem that, but you had to travel too. That you had to mix that in if it was in the same location, that would be different. But to handle all that shows a little maturity on your group's part, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we look for that early season to provide those little not only physical challenges but mental challenges as well. Sort of get off the bus, put the bus ride behind you, and then get right to the pool ready to go. And that's something that we like to do. We can afford to do early season. Now later on in the season, we'll want to spread that out a little bit to get ready for some peak performances. But early season, it is great, and the girls handled it very maturely, as you say, and performed very well under the circumstances.
You have an All-American back in Autumn Hayberg. Give me an update. How's she been swimming for you?
Yeah, Autumn is great, and we're so fortunate to have Autumn for 5 years. She wanted to come back, and she wasn't done yet. and we are very grateful for that. And she's brought a lot of leadership, a lot of experience, and great swimming ability to our program. So she's a great, leader, and we really feed off of her performances. She's a great competitor. She gets up on the blocks, and all the team watches her and learns from her how she handles pressure situations, and she's great all around. Leader as an example, vocal leader, and then just great performances in the water.
You had a nice performance in the dives at Iowa State. Sarah Troyer, I believe, set a pool record there with some scores she put up. Tell me about that young lady.
Yeah, continuing in the tradition of outstanding divers at Nebraska, Sarah Troyer is continuing what the legacy of Abby Napton and Anna Flipsick, and so she's been just wonderful. She has been improving every year. She's on just a steady upward trajectory, and has qualified for NC2As the last couple of years, and her diving is just continuing to improve, and she's responding well to our new diving coach, Landon Marzullo, and her early season performances, as well as the performances of all the diving crew, have been just really great, and we're really excited to see how they perform the rest of the season.
Getting busy with Husker swim coach Pablo Morales. Huskers will actually be home tomorrow. The Jayhawks in town, another Big 12 team from our past, 4 o'clock at the auditorium. So folks would love to have you come out and watch some great swimming. What kind of challenge will the Jayhawks present you?
The Jayhawks have always been a great challenge for us. They're very well coached. They're solid across the board in all events, all distances. They've always presented a great challenge to us, and we're very excited for the opportunity to compete against them. As you mentioned, a former Big 12 opponent that we keep on dueling every year, and it's great to continue with that competitive relationship. So we're looking forward to a very intense, a very close meet that could very well go down to the last event. Should be very exciting. We would love everybody to show up for that.
Absolutely. 4 o'clock at the auditorium tomorrow. Your sport's interesting because you do keep a team score, but it is an individual sport. Obviously, you'd like to see people take a few clicks off the time every time they jump in the pool. Well, how do you go from one weekend to the next, and where do you set the bar? Is it, do you talk individually with the... Just take me through that process.
Yeah, it's actually both. From an individual standpoint, you really want to have a great proven track record of individuals coming to your program, and whether or not they're gonna score at the Big Ten championships or qualify for the NC2A championships, you want them to improve. So every individual is just as important as the next person in terms of the standards that they set personally for themselves and how they go about achieving their goals. They can be an inspiration and set a high bar for anybody in the program. So it's really important to get that individual improvement and plan, set great goals for the season, and take everyone through how to accomplish their goals. There are particular goals, whatever specific keys that are important for them to help them improve. And then, of course, you have that team aspect. It is an individual sport, but the team aspect of it takes everything up to another level when everybody is swimming and diving for a common goal and swimming and diving for each other. And that's when special things happen.
Very good. Thank you for filling me in, because I didn't quite know how you would approach that from a coaching standpoint. Noticed a few weeks ago you had a home duel, and the athletic director popped in there. That would be kind of nice to see Trev come by.
Yeah, Trev has been just a great presence, a great source of support. It's great seeing him and taking a very great interest in our program, and we're very happy to have him as our leader, and looking forward to future growth with the program, not only our program but the whole department. And it's great seeing that from the top, somebody who's very interested and takes the time to be there and watch and ask a lot of questions, and we're very grateful for that.
Fantastic. 4 o'clock tomorrow in the pool, the auditorium over into the Vandy Center. Good luck, and we'll be checking in with you as the season moves on.
Great, Greg. Thank you.
Good to hear from Coach Morales, who was a heck of a swimmer in his own right, a multi-gold medalist in a couple of different Olympic games. But it is fun to watch swimming and diving. I know our athletic director was out watching them a few weeks ago when they had a home duel.
That's one of the sports that I was really, really excited to be able to watch in person because, you know, there's not really – Big 12 Texas has, you know, swimming and diving, but I think that's the only team in the Big 12. But I have not seen any of that live, and I'm you know, grew up kind of, not that I'm a great swimmer by any means, but my mom and I, you know, we taught swimming lessons, so I kind of grew up around the pool, and that's my favorite, you know, one of my favorite Olympic sports to watch, and so I'm excited to see this in person. I have every intention, I will be going to some swimming and diving meets.
You could slip over there tomorrow for a few minutes. 4 o'clock again at the auditorium with the Jayhawks, a duel. They'll have that tomorrow afternoon, so a good chance for you to go out and watch some Husker swimming and diving. They certainly, as we mentioned with the coach, they've got a diver who's doing some great things for him this year as well. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse. First 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. Just a couple of minutes left for us before we hand it off to the volleyball crew for the Huskers match tonight with Illinois. Quite a week. They're at Illinois tonight. They're not coming back to Lincoln because they play Saturday night in Columbus against Ohio State, and that's a top 10 team. So the Illini are 25th ranked. Ohio State's in the top 10. In fact, they're playing right now against Minnesota in quite a match in Big Ten volleyball tonight. So 48 hours, 2 matches, 2 ranked teams. This will be a challenge for John Cook and the squad.
And again on the road where, you know, as we hear not just Coach Cook, but it seems like after every Big Ten match that you watch and the coach is interviewed, they talk about the grind of the Big Ten. And no, you can't get too hung up on any game because whoever it is maybe coming into your house or hitting the road, it's just such a challenge night in and night out. And so, you know, again, another road type atmosphere. It's kind of like a, you know, basketball game where you've got to steal a couple on the road. And so definitely got to get back to their winning ways, which I think they're chomping at the bit to do, as we talked about just a few minutes ago.
I'm really anxious to see if Lexi Sun can kind of back up a pretty good performance Saturday against the Gophers with another one tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, just that experience, you know, she's been in the fire and has, you know, performed at such a high level for this team in kind of some critical moments in the postseason. So, you know, for her to kind of string some performances together, I'm sure that's what Coach Cook is looking for, is consistency, especially on that right side. They've got to figure out how to get that right side going. That's definitely been a missing link, but yeah, it would be huge if they could string together some performances and especially Lexi to shore up that right side. And a lot of it, I'm sure, is confidence. And so if they could have a couple of big nights and get that team kind of all clicking on all cylinders would be huge for this team.
And Nicklin, I think he would even admit she hasn't been great in the last couple of matches. She's got to be a little bit better from the setter position. I can't believe that we're just a little over 3 weeks away from Selection Sunday. It's crazy. That season is winding down that fast.
I feel like both the fall seasons, we were just talking about kind of getting this thing going, and really I feel like it's really flown by since Lauren Steffens has been back, because we were kind of waiting for her to get back, and then all of a sudden she got back, and it's been a while, and she made such a big difference. But yeah, that season's flown by as well.
Yeah, because of Thanksgiving weekend is when they announced the pairings of the NCAA tournament. That is not very far off. All right, so Husker volleyball coming your way tonight. Tomorrow night we'll have a full 2-hour program. Jeremiah, we'll make sure he comes in here. He has to redeem himself on some picks. We'll see if he can do that. We'll have that tomorrow. Tomorrow night we'll also hear from Husker wrestling coach Mark Manning. They've got an inter-squad meet on Saturday. Then their season starts next Thursday, so they're ready to get going. So we'll talk some Husker wrestling. We're going to hear from Cam Tater-Britt, part of your Cornhusker conversation. You recorded that a couple days ago. You said he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was great. And again, been a leader for this team. And we kind of went back to his kind of recruiting days, but also just kind of how they're approaching this week. And, you know, I think a lot of people might have been concerned coming off the loss at Purdue of the psyche of this football team. And, you know, kind of going to get to hear a little bit about that and how they've approached this week. And again, I feel like it's been another great week of preparation for this team. We'll see how it translates on the field on Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll have a little bit of that conversation for you tomorrow night as well. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, that's where we're broadcasting from. It's sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. That will put a wrap on Sports Nightly for tonight. Husker volleyball coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Lauren Cook West will have the call. The Huskers taking on the Fighting Illini. Thanks to Jess.